Hello friends, Doug Fink, 16-time Microsoft MVP. I'm here to show you a new module, PShell AI. We're going to go through it, show you how to set up some keys, billing, and then walk you through the workflow of using this new minimal, beautiful terminal assistant. So let's get going. There's three things you want to do if you want to use this, and if you want to follow along, I'll show you how to do it. First up, you want to do an install module, PShell AI. Okay. Then the next thing you want to do is head over to platform.openai.com API keys, and what that does is will let you set up a key. I have a couple set up for myself. You can create a new secret key, standard flow, copy it, and then you want to set it to $env : OpenAI key equal to that key. And then you're set in terms of a key. But you have one more thing you have to do. You have to go over billing, and you need to add credits to your balance. The minimum you can add is $5. Highly recommend it. You won't be sorry. Auto recharge is off by default, so you won't have any runaway charges when you hit the $5. If you tries to go past, it'll tell you nope, can't do that. $5 will last you several months, so you should be good to go. So what I want to show today is I just added this PShell AI. It wraps over my PSAI module that interacts with OpenAI as well as Azure OpenAI. And PShell AI it's meant to be a faster, smarter alternative to online references for shell commands, code examples, error outputs, and high-level explanations. Really intended to be the minimal, beautiful terminal assistant. I'm going to walk you through how the workflow of how this happens, and hopefully you'll see the benefits. So to start, let's just you start with a Q, right, for a question, and so I'm going to give it. You just type out what you want. So here I'm going to do minimal effort prompts and see what we get. So here I'm saying get res, grps, and az. So I'm asking it to get resource groups in Azure. Right. So I'll press enter, and this goes off to the OpenAI model. It's using 4.0 mini as a default, so it's fractions and fractions of pennies, basically intelligence that you can't even calculate. That's how little that costs. So you type in your question, right, and then you get another prompt, and here you can see you can do a follow-up. You can do type a follow-up question, or if you press enter, it'll copy the result to get AZ resource group. It'll copy that to the clipboard, and it'll quit the interface, or you can just Control C out of all this. So for example, I'll just Control C, right? Nothing happens. We're all good to go. Let's clear the screen. We'll do that again. Comes back with the same information. Now what I'll do is I will press enter, and what it does is it copies the get Azure resource group to the clipboard. So if I can do a Control V, I actually get that command ready to go. So let's see what a follow-up looks like. Okay, so now I can get that. Now what if I want to say something like use AZ CLI? Okay, so now you can ask follow-up questions, and it has a memory so that as you ask the follow-up questions, it already remembers your first question, get res groups in Azure. So I asked it to do an Azure CLI. Now what if I want to say something like that, that end in -rg? Okay, so that's how I would do it with the AZ CLI. That's how I would do a query. And then I can say something like in the last week. So that's how I would do it with Azure CLI. Okay, and now I'll just say in PowerShell, and that's how I would do it in PowerShell. So I'm just typing natural language, right? I'm writing it in English, and I am doing follow-up with follow-up questions, follow-up points that I'm asking it to take care of, and it's giving me the responses. Now remember, if I press enter, I get it copied to the clipboard, and it exits the terminal assistant, and then I can come back here, and then I can paste it, and I'm ready to go. Cool. So let's take a look at a couple of more of how you can what this can do. So for example, I can do something like, let's do comments. Let's try this. In fact, I still have this in my, here we go. So I want to read the host files and strip all comments. Now I have tuned this so if you're in a PowerShell console, it will give you back PowerShell information. You can specify the language you want, and it will take that over to PowerShell. So here's how the model thinks I should read the host file, so I can get the content. Windows system drivers. So you can eyeball this here, make sure it looks good, and you can say, all right, it's going to grab, get the content, and I'm going to say where I'm going to do a match on that starts with a star and an asterisk on each line, and then I can actually, it's going to pipe out and set the content to this location and called hosts.strip. Again, if I press enter, and then I can paste it, and then I can eyeball it, and if I don't want to do it, I can escape it, but it's still on my clipboard, so I can do a whole bunch of different things. So we'll take a look at a few more. Let's say I want to get the current time from some website, and I can press enter. That looks good. Press enter again, I copy to the clipboard, I paste it, and then I can actually run it. So this is the basic workflow of how to do things. Now, like I said, it's not limited or to be just in PowerShell. It's tuned to be that if you don't specify a language, but I can do something like delete an element from a list in Golang, right? And it comes back and it shows me how to do that. I can then do a follow-up and say explain. And it comes up and tells me about how I can deal with the slicing and appending elements. Highlights the fact that the append is to concatenate two slices. Try this out. You can install the module, set up your key if you don't have it already, and set up $5 worth of credit. And this is just the beginning of what you can do with PShell AI. It installs the PSAI as well, and we'll talk about how that works and how autonomous agents can be built with that module in upcoming videos. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay curious.